Hello everyone, welcome to our channel Public Cloud Design Tips and Tricks. In this channel, we generally discuss about public cloud design problem statement and their related solution. Today, we are going to discuss about Azure Virtual Machine scaling. The problem statement, how to scale Azure Virtual Machines. Before that, let's try to understand what is scaling. Scaling is to automatically increase or decrease virtual machine instances based on request to run the application. That means you can think about during a Black Friday request, there are huge number of requests which is coming to your system. That time you can use the capabilities of scaling so that you can cater more requests. So why scaling? To meet the required capacity for the workloads, to improve customer experience, to improve application performance, to scale in and scale out based on the defined rules. And also when you have multiple virtual machine, the load balancing also needs to be done. That's why it needs to have a Azure load balancer in it. So the scaling unit of Azure always comes with a load balancer along with the virtual machines. So what is VM skill set? A skill set is managed capability in Azure that enables groups of individual virtual machines within Microsoft Azure Public Cloud that information technology administrators can configure and manage as a single unit. That means although you have multiple virtual machines, it will be treated as a single unit so that when you are applying any patching or any rule, it will be applied across the virtual machine. To create and manage group of load balanced VMs provides high availability to the running applications. It also helps you to resiliency across your availability zones. It provides large scale workload handling capabilities, and also it works on request and demand. Now, what is horizontal and versus vertical scaling? In case of horizontal scaling, the number of compute instances will increase. That means when a request is coming and your virtual machine is unable to cater the request with the current one virtual machine, then in that case, it will scale out. That means it increases the number of instances. And same also applies. Let your request has decreased. In that case, it will reduce the virtual machines and it will scale down. That means it is known as scale in. So this is the difference between horizontal scaling, scale in and scale out. Now the vertical scaling. So in case of virtual machine, when you are having lot of requests and your CPU or your processing is taking more CPU time as well as memory, like 70% of the CPU compute is done. In that case, you have to scale up. That means you are increasing the CPU size as well as memory size. And same applies with scale down. So you generally define a rule. Based on the rule, you can define whether you need a horizontal scale in and scale out or vertical scale up or scale down. Now, what is orchestration mode? This is one of the important part. So orchestration mode allow to have maximum control over how virtual machine instances are managed by the skill set. So with the orchestration mode, you will get the control over the skill set. It provides a logical grouping of virtual machine. It enables to create configuration model to add and remove virtual machine instances. It controls CPU or memory load balance to handle capacity, upgrades operating system based on latest release. That means based on the latest release, it will also upgrade the OS versions. It is also purely based on configuration model, and configuration model is one time and cannot be changed or update. So once you are defining the configuration model, that is going to be same across till the end. Orchestration is of two types. One is uniform orchestration, second is flexible orchestration. When you are talking about uniform orchestration, it provides a fault domain for 100 instances, whereas flexible orchestration provides high level of guarantee up to 1000 virtual machines. So this is what the orchestration mode. Now the best practices to auto scaling. Auto scale maximum and minimum values should be different to have a marginal value of optimal scale in or scale out. Second, manual scaling should reset to the defined values. You definitely need to define value based on the reset capabilities. Scale set rule should be defined with usage and resource performance rule to get maximum benefit. Appropriate diagnostic metrics should be defined. Select a default instances count for better performance, as well as configure a notification mechanism with auto scaling. And at the end, ensure security consideration in auto scaling requirements. Otherwise, scaling in, scaling out, that means you are increasing the virtual machine. You have to make sure it will be in your secure boundary. Otherwise, it will create a lot of security violations across your organization if you are private organizations. I have gathered this information by following these links. If you like the video, then don't forget to share it across your friends. And yeah, keep reading and keep learning and sharing. Thank you.